So that takes us to Indiana, which I think everyone agrees right now has gone from, a team that made the playoffs last year, lost in the first round. They were building all these young pieces, of course, Caitlin to now an immediate contender with all the moves that they've made.
Are WNBA veterans really trying to tear down Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever before the season? Even some critics have been way too vocal about whether Clark and her squad deserved the hype, but guess who just stepped in? That's right, Sue Bird, one of the greatest point guards in WNBA history, just broke her silence, and instead of taking shots at Clark or the Fever, she's actually defending them. She's shutting down them.
Tough. She brings an edge to them. And then last but not least, they added DeWanna Bonner, which really I think is the one that for most people took it to another level. So now you're like, oh, they're a contender. Now the expectations have changed. I'm sure the way they're approaching this season have changed. I think the biggest part of DB joining this team is that she's already played for Steph.
Noise setting the record straight and letting everyone know why this team should be taken seriously. The conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark has been intense. From the moment she declared for the WNBA, a draft, the hype, that expectations, the criticism, it's all been relentless. Some fans are calling her the future of women's basketball. Others are saying she's overrated. Some players and analysts have fully embraced her presence in the league. Others seem to be looking for reasons to downplay her. And that's exactly why Sue Bird had to step in.
So Sue Bird is one of the greatest point guards of all time in the WNBA. And she's someone who obviously is a part owner in the Seattle Storm. So hyping up another team is a bit of a conflict of interest, if we're being honest. Not like something crazy, but a little bit of...
Because let's be real, Caitlin Clark isn't just a random rookie coming into the league. She's not just another talented player trying to find her place. She's one of the most gifted offensive players women's basketball has ever seen. And she's stepping into a franchise that has been desperately waiting for a player like her to arrive. Bird, who knows a thing or two about it, being a franchise-changing point guard, made it clear in her recent comments Clark and the Fever are for real, and all the people trying to downplay them, they might be making a huge mistake. So why is there so much resistance to Caitlin Clark's presence? Why are there so many people trying to brush aside Indiana's chances? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about what Sue Bird actually said, because she didn't just casually compliment Clark. She went all in on defending her end. The Fever, she acknowledged the elephant in the room right away. The Indiana Fever went from being a good team with young talent to an immediate contender. That's a massive jump, and some people don't like that. Certain WNBA analysts and former players have been pushing this idea that Indiana is being handed respect they haven't earned, yet that just because they landed Clark, people are treating them like instant championship material. Sue Bird wasn't having any of that. She openly admitted that while the Fever might not be the outright favorites, because let's be honest, teams like the Liberty and Lynx are still stacked, they are absolutely in the conversation. And that's that part that some people can't seem to accept. They don't want to acknowledge that the Fever are already a dangerous team. They don't want to admit that Clark isn't coming into a rebuild. She's stepping into a team that was already on the rise. Bird also pointed out something incredibly important. Clark's impact goes far beyond just what she does individually. The way she plays makes her teammates better. It's funny because people love to say, well, let's see how she does in the WNBA. She won't be able to dominate like she did in college. But here's what they don't understand. Clark doesn't need to drop 30 points every night to make an impact. That's not what makes her special. What makes her special is how she elevates everyone around her. She creates so many easy shots for her teammates. She forces defenses to completely change the way they play. She pushes them pace in a way that wears teams down. Bird recognized this instantly. She even compared Clark to herself in her prime, saying that playing with Clark is actually simpler than people think. You just need to run the floor, be in position, and let her find you. And when a Hall of Famer like Subbird is saying that you listen, but here's the thing. This isn't just about Clark. This is about the entire team and the way they've been disrespected, because even outside of Clark, the Fever have built a squad that should be taken seriously. They went out and made moves that prove they aren't just here to develop young players. They're here to win now. Adding Danana Bonner was huge. This is a player who has been to the finals, who knows what it takes to win, and who thrives in high-pressure situations. She's not just a solid veteran, she's a game changer. Then you bring in Sophie Cunningham, who is this tough as they come. She's not going to back down from anyone. She's the kind of player who can swing momentum in a game with her physicality and energy alone. And then there's Natasha Howard-Bird. Was especially excited about this addition. She talked about how Howard was at her best when she played alongside her in Seattle. She's quick, she's got great hands, and she knows how to run the floor, and that's exactly why she fits so well with Clark. Bird basically laid it out. If you're big playing with Caitlin-Clark, you just need to run it, catch, that's it. Clark is going to get you the ball in the perfect spot. You don't need to do anything fancy, just be in the right position and she'll do the rest. And that's why this team is so dangerous. It's not just about talent, it's about how these pieces fit together. But despite all this, there are still people trying to dismiss them, and Bird called that out too, because let's be honest, there's definitely some jealousy involved here. Clark's arrival has completely shifted the conversation around the WNBA. She's bringing in more media attention, more fans, and more excitement than the league has seen in years. You know what they just said to me on TV? They said, you know what the all-time assist record is in this game? And I said, I don't want to know. And they're like, well, it's 2 birds. And I was like, okay, then I have to break it. And not everyone likes that. Some veterans feel like they had to grind for years to get any sort of recognition, and now Clark comes in and instantly becomes the face of the league. That doesn't sit well with everyone, and you can feel it in the way some people talk about her. They're constantly looking for ways to downplay her. They're acting like she hasn't earned the hype. Bird wasn't having it. She made it clear Clark deserves this. She's not just a media creation. She's not just hype. She's the real deal. And more importantly, the Fever are the real deal. Bird knows what a championship team looks like. She's played on them. She's LAD them. And when she looks at Indiana, she sees a team that is right there. Are they the favorites number? But are they in the mix? Absolutely. And that's what people need to start accepting. This isn't just about a rookie coming in and getting too much attention. This is about a franchise making all the right moves to build something special. And Subbird, she sees it. She knows what's coming. The question is, will the rest of the league figure it out before it's too late? Because if the Fever get rolling, if Clark finds her rhythm and her teammates fully buy into the system, the WNBA is about to be put on notice. And all those people trying to downplay it, now they might not have much to say when Indiana is lighting up the scoreboard and proving exactly why they should have never been doubted in the first place. That conversation around Caitlin-Clark and the Indiana Fever isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about the culture shift happening in the WNBA. For years, the league has been building momentum slowly, gaining more attention, more fans, and more respect. But now with Clark stepping in and Indiana making serious moves, everything feels like it's happening faster. The spotlight is brighter, the stakes are higher, and the reactions, they've been stronger than ever. Some people are thrilled about it, others not so much. And that's exactly why Subbird had to step in, because here's the thing, this isn't just about the Fever getting attention.